So, if some of you know, if you've seen my last video, I have been getting threatened and harassed online. Someone made a parody account using my name and ministry name, and then there is another ministry accountability page that is also harassing and stalking me. They're finding old photos from myself from years ago that I don't even have, going onto my personal social media profiles, etc. I recently got threatened that they were going to expose me by dropping my file, for whatever that means. And these accounts are doing this to dozens of other people as well. I am certain this is because of my work with high-profile church scandals and exposing the darkness in the church right now. This is not something that I ever wanted to do, but I just couldn't turn my back on what I saw and knew that I had to speak out. Many people believe that most likely Daystar's own darling, Rachel Lamb, is behind these social media accounts that are threatening and harassing. But I must add a major disclaimer here. I am not a lawyer, law enforcement, or tech professional. So I must say very clearly there is strong proof that Daystar is behind these accounts that are harassing and threatening people online. But these are just allegations that Daystar is possibly behind these social media accounts. This has not been proven by law enforcement or in a court of law. If Daystar is found to be behind these accounts, it's going to be another huge black eye for the embattled network, who is already in hot water for a long list of moral issues and possible criminal behavior. So Daystar could end up being really damaged if they find out that if the public finds out that they are behind these accounts. And if I was on their board of directors or a corporate officer at the company, I would definitely be concerned and start looking into this. It could end up turning into a lawsuit or even a class action lawsuit because these accounts are threatening dozens of people. But I got a great praise report in a major turn of events. One of my favorite Bible teachers that I watch all the time, Mike Winger, gets involved and throws his hat in the ring. I followed a couple of his Bible studies, some of the best Bible studies that I have ever done, and I went to seminary myself. I did one Bible study with him, Women in Ministry, that was like 60 hours long, and then did another 40 hours of research myself. So Mike Winger has over 1 million followers on social media combined. And if you do not follow Mike Winger, I suggest you do so right now. I promise you his teaching ministry will bless you tremendously. And on top of that, he's a great person who has a real heart for ministry. And these are the type of leaders that we want to promote. So Mike Winger shared my last video about my initial report of being threatened and harassed. And the video went viral on Twitter, getting 58,000 views. And that's just on Twitter. So on other platforms, all combined, it's probably over 150,000 views. And then he posted this on Twitter because of the bullying, followed it up and made another point. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so this mock account that's using my ministry name published Mike's post, and they shot back at him. But Mike Winger said this. He posted this. I can't show all of the details now, but I believe Daystar and Joni Lamb are orchestrating a group of fake accounts on social media to harass people who are exposing the abuse in their organization. Because of this, I am sharing this video to push back against the despicable efforts in hope for justice. If they continue to harass people, I will continue to share about Daystar's tactics and issues. I've been encountering evidence of coordinated, malicious attacks on whistleblowers from rich Christian leaders, and I intend to push back against them. This is in honor of the fake accounts made on X to harass Joshua Simone. I told you I would do more if you kept harassing people. This is for you. So Mike Winger has got in and used his power and influence to push behind that. And if they keep it up, Mike is going to do more content on this subject, and this could end up getting millions of views, okay? I don't have the ability for my viewers to go out to 60,000 people on Twitter. It was because Mike shared it. And this is why I do feel some powerful and influential people are behind these accounts, Because who would be stupid enough to push back at Mike Winger, who has tremendous influence with over 1 million viewers, tremendous influence, tremendous respect and reputation in the evangelical Christian world? Why would they fight against him? Well, we're going to see in a second that those counts are doing just that. Only someone who has equal or more power and influence than Mike Winger would pick a fight with him. So I just wanted to thank Mike Winger from the bottom of my heart. Mike stuck his neck out in this situation. It's all risk and no reward for him to do this, and that should be commended. If more leaders do not start doing this in the church is in big trouble. Okay, as we head towards the end times, as we head towards geopolitical turmoil worldwide, financial turmoil, we need leaders that are going to be battle tested, that are going to have to be willing to confront major issues and talk about things. Okay, so I just give a major shout out to Mike Winger. Go follow him. But up to this point, I felt like a kid throwing rocks at a giant. I know I have many social media influencer friends as well that are involved in this, but it's still like almost like a David Goliath situation. But now I feel another giant has entered the ring in Mike Winger. So my advice to Daystar is stand down right now, because this has the ability to turn into a major storm on social media. Mike has the power to turn this into a gigantic thing that just totally blank lifts and goes all over social media, because he's 10 times bigger than most of the people covering these stories. And he has much more power on social media, all across different platforms. And this might cause other well-known social media influencers to join in with Mike and bring even more attention to the Daystar situation. Well, they are continuing to even battle Mike Winger. Let's take a look at my parody account that is mocking him. Okay, so you're going to see here in the screenshot, they put a picture of Mike in the screenshot next to me. It used to be my picture there. I don't even know where they got this picture. It's me in front of the White House. I didn't put that on social media. So it's just really disturbing how they got that, but they're throwing Mike in the mix here. And why would you egg on a person that has tremendous power and influence? It's not a smart move. Who's ever running their PR team, they're just making the wrong decisions all across the board. Then they put up this picture mocking Mike Winger. I'm a sanctimonious blowhard, like my friend Joshua Simone. Okay? Then they said, basically they're talking to Mike here, whining about a parody count. None of us is asking anyone in the non-Daystar to go on ministry accounts and bullying them. He thinks too highly of himself. Okay? But that's not true. We'll show more of that. There's clear proof here in what they're doing. So you'll see here, they basically fired back at Mike Winger. You're barking up the wrong tree, Mike Winger. You're hilarious. And now I am famous. Sorry if you thought you're upset with me with your ridiculous claims that you've just given me a reason to laugh at how ridiculous you are. I'm not stopping anything, nor can I. So 2 more posts here. Mark and avoid Mike Winger. He is a proven liar, a false accuser, hostile, quick to be angry, and has slandered me. His motives, anger, that I would dare to parry another hot-headed as Mike has shown himself to be. He threatened to continue to harass me. Go read it. Okay, so they're saying that Mike is a proven liar and a false accuser. Unbelievable. Mike is a tremendous human being. And then they said he threatened to make a video exposing Daystar, but all he did was repost a Roy's Report video. Boy, isn't all there in the head. Reposting a video does not count as exposure. I was looking for content created by Winger, but he just rinses and repeats what others actually created. So they're pushing back against Mike Winger. I don't know what would possess them to do that. Obviously, this person isn't mentally sane. But if they continue to argue with him and fight with him, they're going to pull him into this further, okay? And if they continue to go down that path, they're going to end up losing this battle because Mike has tremendous influence in the Christian world. And more importantly than that, people really respect Mike, especially in the social media space that I'm in the podcaster space, even pastors and scholars. A lot of people really respect Mike and trust his opinion on various issues. He really does good job on covering controversial subjects or hard subjects, and will do that good, breaking them down verse by verse, and he goes really deep. And so they seem to be just throwing shade at Mike, but I have a feeling that these people are going to end up sinking with the ship. They're in a losing battle. They're not going to win this, but do not follow these accounts or comment on any of these posts. That's probably exactly what they want, because it's going to end up pushing the algorithm, giving them more attention. So we don't want to draw more attention to these accounts. So do not go on there and comment. Do not follow their profiles. What I'm suggesting you do is report the accounts to X for harassment, bullying, impersonation, and doxing. So that would be the way better alternative than following these accounts. Now, I want you to notice something about this account. So we're seeing here this account that has 4,400 posts. So like I shared in my last video, they're likely employing somebody to run these accounts on a full-time basis. 4,400 posts on here. But you're going to look at this picture, and it says here, the banner picture of me says, I'm kind of a big deal, implying that I'm doing this for fame, or I think I'm a big deal. Actually, I'm an introvert. I don't really even enjoy doing this. And this is not the type of attention that you want on social media. I can promise you that. This comes with a lot of heartache and battle, a lot of spiritual warfare. And I fought God in 2 years for even doing a ministry like this, but he won out. So I don't even like social media, to be honest with you. It's a very brutal world in many regards. And then you see here that they said Joshua Simone, the overly sanctimonious blowhard. So basically, they're name calling and insulting, like mocking, like it's just unbelievable. Then you go on to read a little bit further down behind my shower curtain, because the ministry's name is Torn Curtain. So further mocking. And then they say he's full of false bravado because I'm deeply insecure and the emotional training didn't work for me. So I did a lot of training in inner healing and deliverance, took over 100 courses. I worked with many different big ministries all throughout the United States, and basically in that field study. And so they're basically saying that, and then they put the hashtag sexually confused, which I don't know what that's about. Okay, that's one thing I'm definitely not. I'm fully 100% straight, and I really appreciate women. So basically, they did say it's a parody account. They only have like 62 followers, but these are all lies, slander, and name calling. So I just wanted to point people, who's the accuser of the brethren now? Who's playing the voice of Satan? Because the sole purpose of this account is not to refute the claims that the whistleblowers like me and my friends are bringing up, which would be the sane thing to do. Let's stick to the topic. We said that a 5-year-old was possibly SA'd, that Susie Lamb was possibly SA'd by a chiropractor in the ministry. Let's talk about that. Let's stick to the topic. But instead, they got to change the topic. So basically, that's what's going on here. Let's name call and dirty fight and do these other things. So why are we even here? What is the topic? Why was a third-party investigation not done at Daystar in the regards to the essay of 2 different people at the ministry, which include Joni's granddaughter, who was 5 years old at the time, and the people who initially were involved are saying that the investigation process was not completed and that the girl is showing signs of trauma. And that one person in the family named Pete, who we all know who is at this point, did not complete the process to clear his name completely. He didn't finish the process. So I posted a video about a month ago of Lance Wallnau, a respected person in the charismatic community, saying that Pete should do more to clear his name. So that's what all of this is about. We just want to see the process finished. I don't claim to know what happened here. I don't want to say who's guilty or who's not guilty, but I can tell you one thing. There's a lot here that needs to be reconciled, and that hasn't been done yet. And that's why 22 partners have pulled off Daystar television, because they don't feel like they want to have anything to do with this ministry, because they're not completing the process. And they don't appear even willing to even consider it. So this is where Rachel Lamb comes in. She disappeared from social media a couple of months ago. And as she disappeared, a lot of these parody accounts started to pop up around the same week. So many people believe Pete to be Rachel's husband. I have to say that allegedly. That's what the word is out on the street. But we can't, legally speaking, we still have to say allegedly, okay? So instead, these social media accounts, right, they're popping up around the same time Rachel Lamb disappears, and then they're not addressing the allegations against the ministry. The things like others and myself are trying to bring up. Get counselors involved, get police involved, turn this over to professionals, and let them fully investigate the matter. No, they're not doing that. These social media accounts, like I just showed you, are doing name calling, harassing, slander, threats, and all sorts of dirty fighting tactics. They're not sticking to the subject. They're trying to change the subject. And what they're trying to do is now bring up dirt on whistleblowers' past. And I have a past. I've shared my testimony on my channel since day one. I walked away from the Lord for a few years, and I was divorced. That was over 10 years ago. And at the time, when I fell to my knees, I repented. I decided to follow Jesus, and I got restored. But I also followed Jesus' instruction when he said, "Go and sin no more." I didn't continue to live like that. I was not in leadership at the time. It was just only me and myself that I was hurting. But the crowd is not going to fall for these tactics, and they're not going to let them shift the focus onto us and the podcasters. They are doing some stalking and bringing up old photos of mine that I don't even have. And they found comments on my mother's social media page and went on to my personal social media accounts, which are not even public. You can't even find them on Facebook. So, and I don't even really use it, to be honest with you. And that's when I started putting my foot down, saying, enough, this is now stalking, okay? Again, I'm not going to Joni Lamb's house. I'm not going to Doug Weiss's heart-to-heart counseling session, and I'm not in the woods someplace taking pictures. These people are taking it to a personal level, and that's when I said, you know what? I got to talk about this. We're going to bring this in the light. So although I've exposed people on this channel, I presented the facts that were already public knowledge, okay? So I didn't find anything new, and I tried to do this in a loving and compassionate manner as I possibly could. So just so you know my heart, I'm praying for everyone at Daystar. Mainly that they would repent and turn the ministry over to people with integrity. But I'm praying for all of them at Daystar, even the ones I don't like, even Rachel, because it's really hard to like her behavior at this point because of the things that even she's posted on social media. Just really, truly disgusting. But I'm even praying for Rachel, Doug, Joni. I'm praying for all of them involved. I don't just make videos. I intercede about these topics. And I love all of these people on a Christian level. I love them, okay? I love everybody, okay? But it doesn't mean that I don't see that things are seriously wrong in this situation. So recently, they have continued threats on me since my last video. They have continued the threats of exposing me, threats of doing A, B, and C, trying to put out damaging information on me. And this was after my first video exposing this stuff. I tell you one thing, I respect these people because they have guts. But I'm from Queens, New York, it was part of the home of La Cosa Nostra, which is, the Italian Mafia, particularly the Gambino crime family, ran a lot of their organization out of Queens. There's a cemetery by my house that has, the burial of John Gotti, Lucky Luciano, all of the big names in Mafia history. I brushed, arms with these people, and I got a chance to see the Mafia operate up close and get to know some of these people, not personally, but just, be around them in the neighborhood and stuff. And I'll tell you, there's a veneer on the outside because Mafia people are very religious. They're very Catholic, and they often wear crosses and do a lot of genuflecting, and they say Hail Marys, and they go to Mass and everything. But like I said, behind closed doors, there's some really dark and sinister things going on, but they hide it all behind the guise of religion. Okay, so I'm well aware of people that use these tactics, bullying and threats. I'm not scared, okay? If I could be and witness the real Mafia, I'm not going to be scared of the Daystar Christian Mafia, that's for sure. But I'll tell you, I do respect these people because they have guts. And this weekend, they also released another social media influencer's criminal history. That's right. It seems that they committed some crimes before they got saved, so they published their full criminal history, and it was lengthy. So I'm not even sure if it's legal to do something like that, but they found the social media's influencers' criminal history, which you have to pay for unless they have some type of law enforcement on staff. But having friends on a lot of different agencies and law enforcement myself, and I even have some in my extended family, police don't like to get involved in these things anymore off the clock because they just don't want to get involved. So most likely they paid to get that criminal history to put it out on this poor social media influencer. And again, the topic is not about them. It's about Daystar. Okay, so this is not about Josh Simone. This is not about Mike Winger. This is not about Torn Curtain. This is about Daystar. And we're not going to let them switch the subject onto us. Of course, they're going to try, but it's not going to work. This is about Daystar and the allegations of the cover-up of the essay of two people, including a minor. Okay, so many people believe that the person who did that essay is also a family member named Pete that is still with the ministry. So I hope you can see their dirty below the belt tactics, the name calling, and how these accounts have wicked and evil people running these accounts. In any of my videos, I tried to do it in respect. I never name called. I never stalked anybody. I never went on someone's personal social media accounts or showed up at anybody's house. And I don't suggest any of you get involved in any dirty tactics. We don't fight battles that way. Most of the time as Christians, we fight battles on our knees and with our mouth. Now, the parody account they made in my name is claiming that they are not associated with Daystar. So we're going to see here, I have to state this, is Department of Church Accountability is not affiliated with Daystar. None of you wiseacres thought to run the domain name for the IP and gelocate that because you continue to say that they are Daystar. Okay, so, and it's saying, again here, an insult, you idiots. Okay, so they are claiming that they are not run by Daystar, and I just have to say that, okay? But the truth is, and they're saying that they're also not associated with Department of Church Accountability, which is the other social media account that is harassing many social media influencers